What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining me once again on another episode on this channel. In today's episode, let's talk about 007, James Bond 007. Former Bond girl slams female 007. James Bond was conceived as a man. Thank the maker for this statement. Now, just for clarification, this is not coming from a over 40-year-old white man. This is coming from a former Bond girl, an actual Bond girl that was in several James Bond movies. And her name is Valerie Leon. She was in 1977's The Spy Who Loved Me and 1983's Never Say Never Again. She had this to say: "The world has gone mad. I'm dressed in black. I'm in mourning that we're here talking about Bond being a woman." She continued, "He was conceived as a man. Ian Fleming created him as a man." That's all I've been saying as well. That's all a lot of us have been saying about this. It's absolute insanity. Woke Hollywood is just overstepping their boundaries. Why are they doing this? What's the point of actually making James Bond a man? A woman, I should say. There's no point in doing this. I mean, if they want to have a woman be a super spy or something like that, just create a new character. But no, they're just too lazy to do this stuff. Maybe Hollywood just wants to retcon everything about James Bond, him being the womanizer, the martini drinking ladies man. Maybe they see him as too much of a Me Too person. They see him sexually harassing and sexually assaulting women, which he's never done because it's always been mutual. Every time you've seen James Bond hit on a woman, they want him to hit on him. They do. But this is just complete insanity. I'm so glad that she actually came out and said this. She goes on and she says, "He's a fantasy. So many men have wanted to be Bond and women have wanted to be with Bond. How can people fantasize about a woman as Bond? Men aren't going to go for a woman as a killer or an assassin." I don't kind of agree with that last statement. It just kind of depends on what the role is, because there's been women as assassin in movies. I think that's worked, but I'm with her on, men have always wanted to be Bond and women have wanted to be with Bond. That's absolutely true. I can't get in my mind a female James Bond. The reason I can't is because the character was never meant to be a woman. And also I found here, there's also a poll right here. And it pretty much states what we've all been thinking. Nobody wants a female James Bond. Look at this poll here. It says, which actress should play James Bond after Daniel Craig? 90% said James Bond should only be played by a man. End of story. The fans don't want to see it, but yet Hollywood is going to continue to shove their woke ideology in our faces. Nobody wants to see a female James Bond. I said it before. If they want to continue to push this narrative, they're just going to ruin this franchise. Now, this is no fault to Lashana Lynch. She's 007 in this movie. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. But they can't continue to do this going forward. People aren't going to show up to watch this. If they replace James Bond with a woman, it's going to be a disaster for this franchise. And I think that in this new James Bond, I really do think that they're going to take away James Bond's balls. He won't be James Bond anymore, I think. Because, they already have this leaked scene at the beginning where he tries to hit up on Lashana Lynch's 007 and she's not going for it. And he's kind of put in his place, so to speak. So I think they're just going to make James Bond a eunuch. Any future James Bond's movies, he's just going to be so out of character. He's going to be unrecognizable. Now, even Eva Green, who actually played in Casino Royale with James Bond, also said James Bond should be a man. Keep in mind, these are two women that are saying this. This isn't even men. These are two women that are saying that James Bond should always be a man. Now we know that Pierce Brosnan, he came out and said, oh, he supported a female James Bond. I think Pierce Brosnan just wants to get work in Hollywood, because I don't think he truly believes that. And I did a video on that as well. All of this, feminist agenda stuff going on in Hollywood, it's not working out, Look at Star Wars. It's not working out. Star Wars is on the decline. It seems like the MCU is going on the decline now, since they're doing gender swaps as well in their future movies. It's not going to work. If you get woke, you're going to go broke. There's no other way to put it. Now, I don't know what's going to happen after this next James Bond movie. I really do think that Hollywood is going to really try and push to get a female James Bond. Now, the name, of course, won't be James Bond, because there isn't a woman called James. So it may be Jane Bond, something like that. But it's out there. I'm so glad that Valerie Leon said this, and the poll actually shows that nobody wants to see a female James Bond. He was never meant to be a woman. He was always meant to be a man. That's the way that Ian Fleming wrote him. But that's just my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on this? James Bond, should he be a woman, or should he always be a man? Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.